So as technology improves, can you be automated out of a job as a pen tester, as someone in offensive security? It's a topic that I know is on a lot of people's minds. Actually, someone posted in the comments section recently asking this question. I think it's a good question. We're going to tackle that in today's video. What's up, guys? This is Ryan from Elevate Cyber. Let's get right into the topic at hand here. Someone asked, can you actually be automated out of a job? Do you think that it's possible that we could be automated out of a job? Now, when it comes to, probably where this person's coming from is that, there's a lot of advancements that have been made specifically in the field of data science, machine learning, and stuff like that. And most certainly, even outside of the innovation that technology has brought, there's been a lot of other jobs that have been sort of automated out, if you will. For example, you have automated checkouts at stores, where you can just go up and interact with the machine and scan your own items. You have similar thing at movie theaters and various different stores. You even have situations where an algorithm will perform certain calculations and stuff instead of having a dedicated person to do it. It's found to be more efficient, more cost effective, less error prone, stuff like that, right? Specifically, you've really seen this come into play when it comes to, tasks that computers are good at solving at. Something that is very repeatable, kind of tedious, right? Doesn't require much complex thought. Those are normally the underlying conditions. And when it came to just those things, I would have said, yeah, there's absolutely no way that as pen testers we could be automated out of that. Our job requires a lot of thought. Our job requires a lot of, situational understanding of things and curiosity and trying all these different things. We couldn't just automate that out, Now, there's been a lot of advancements in machine learning, which is actually able to create a mind of its own, if you will, and a system that can learn things that it didn't know before, right? It could use the machine learning algorithms in order to actually find new vulnerabilities, actually provide a lot of value in the security space. Now, with that sort of idea in mind, I think it's really important to not get lost in fantasy land, okay? Because when it comes to this technology, a lot of people that are really concerned about, being automated out of jobs, a lot of times those people don't actually have a really solid understanding of like machine learning and data science. And I'm not claiming to be an expert on the matter, most certainly. But what I will say is, having spoken with some people that are very knowledgeable in those technologies, one thing you have to understand is it's very much in its infancy still. And a lot of media, especially, kind of overhypes it and kind of overblows like what is within the realm of capability right now. I mean, in the far off future, maybe we can have cyborg Terminator situation walking around with like completely capable robots capable of human emotions and human-like thought. But there's a lot of limitations, is what I'm trying to say right now with this technology. And we are seeing it enter the space of security, and even in an offensive sense, as I'm seeing some automation in the form of machine learning and stuff be incorporated with, say, like static assessments, for example, identifying false positives and such things like that. And that's definitely very beneficial to security as a whole. It frees us up as security professionals, because now we don't have to spend as much of our time doing tedious validations on stuff, and it allows us to spend more of our time on finding new vulnerabilities, finding new stuff. But here's my take. I don't think we will ever be completely automated out of a job. Because when it comes to pen testing, right, or at least not any time in the foreseeable future, reason is, when it comes to pen testing, right, a lot of the ways that these things are discovered is thinking extremely outside the box, which I believe that eventually machine learning can get to a point where it's really finding a lot of things that are outside of the box, if you will. However, there will always be a kind of arms race, right? And there will always be things that the machines don't catch. I mean, this is the reason why having pen testers, having people on the offensive side and attacking in order to secure your environment is so beneficial, because you have people that are thinking so far outside the box. And with technology like that, right, if we completely rely on an automated system to determine all our vulnerabilities, then how do we secure that necessarily, right? Because there's potential compromise of the system itself. There's always that as well. And now, of course, when it comes to social engineering and stuff, like I said, going back to machine learning, it's very far from being capable of human-like behavior, right? You will know that, for example, if we tried to apply machine learning to social engineering and stuff, people would probably much more quickly identify that it's a machine rather than a real person. And it's still the technology is still very far off from being able to replicate human behavior and stuff. The media overhypes a lot of this stuff, but if you talk to people that are actually in this space working on machine learning, data science, they'll tell you it's still very far from being able to mimic like an actual human. So even for that space alone, there will always be, for the foreseeable future, a demand for your offensive security guys that are performing like phishing campaigns and social engineering campaigns, red teaming activities, stuff like that. Now, I mean, I personally believe that we're still very far from being automated out of a job. As someone who personally works in the field of pen testing, I think as pen testers, we're really, we'll have a job for a while, because I've seen a lot of this machine learning stuff implemented on the day-to-day job, right? And I will say there's a lot of optimizations that still need to be made. It's far from perfect. It's very easy to look at something from the outside in with a limited knowledge, a limited basis of understanding, and assume it's magic and think that that it could be a be-all end-all solution for stuff, right? But as you learn more about a technology, you also learn more about its limitations, and it's still very far from that, basically. I mean, if you don't believe what I'm saying, talk to anyone that knows nothing about hacking, and he'll probably say some pretty ridiculous stuff, and he'll assume that a hacker can do some magical stuff that, if you have an understanding of hacking, either isn't possible or is very, very difficult, a lot more than they're making it sound. And you'll know what I'm talking about, right? It's very easy to, if you look from the outside in, to like apply this sort of magical viewpoint on something, right? Really give it these magical properties, right? I think that a lot of people in the mainstream media and stuff especially are guilty of this, right? They don't actually understand machine learning and data science, and if they do, they don't understand where the technology is at the present, and so they kind of give it this kind of they kind of romanticize it, give it this kind of magical aura, like make it sound like, oh, it's magical, it can do this and that and the other, where the reality is, it's still far from being able to do those things. And now, just because you have predictions and stuff doesn't mean, and just because you have a ton of data sets, that doesn't mean that the conclusions that it came to, the data set is actually, legitimate, right? Like, for example, and I know I might have kind of botched the explanation there, but basically what I'm trying to say is, just because you have a lot of data on something doesn't mean that data is guaranteed to be useful data, right? So we could have a bunch of data that doesn't really correlate, but there happen to coincidentally be some correlations, and so we make certain connections that aren't actually there, right? You see this all the time in the media where they basically can use statistics to lie. You've seen a lot of times where, people have taken things that, yeah, there's a correlation, but correlation does not prove causation, is what I'm trying to say. And in the same way, we have to figure out, as we don't really, but these data scientists, these people that are working on the machine learning, they need to figure out, how to optimize and to ensure that these conclusions are, in fact, legitimate, right? And so there's all kinds of challenges. Basically, what I'm trying to say, we're still very far off. So don't freak out about, this is one of the best jobs, I will say. If you're going in here and you're looking for a job that will not be automated anytime soon, I would definitely say you are in the right place. Don't worry about this stuff. Most of the people that are saying you're going to be automated out of a job as a pen tester, quite frankly, they probably don't understand data science too well. Try to ask them some questions and see, like, how much do they actually know about the field? How involved are they actually in the space? Chances are not quite so much. If you guys disagree, I definitely welcome it. Let me know down in the comment section below. Maybe there's something I overlooked. Maybe there's something I'm missing out on, and we can have that discussion. But if you've been enjoying these videos so far, be sure to subscribe, hit the like button. Definitely helps out in the algorithms, get the message out there, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video.